Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're zooming in on something you probably see all the time, maybe even every day, the kitchen. More specifically, we're going to uncover the surprisingly complex story behind the colors of one of the most popular kitchen cabinets in the world, the IKEA BODBYN series.
It sounds simple, I know. A cabinet door.
Right, how complicated can it be?
But when you think about it, this one design choice defines the look of millions of homes.
Sure.
And BODBYN is all about that classic framed style.
So the color is everything.
Exactly. And our mission today is to get past the perfect glossy marketing photos. We're going to explore what these colors really look like out in the wild.
And that's based on some really unique source material we have.
It is.
We're not using IKEA catalogs for this. We're working from a long-term analysis, basically. It's a collection of original photos and videos.
All gathered by Maritz Interior and Design. They spent years taking these inside actual IKEA showrooms all over Europe.
And that's a huge distinction, isn't it? Because a catalog photo it's perfect. The lighting is controlled.
Totally controlled. You get a code, a HEX code or whatever,
Yeah.
but that just tells you about the pigment.
Yeah.
It tells you nothing about the finish or the texture.
Or how it looks when, the morning sun hits it.
Exactly. The sheen, the way the light catches the edge of that frame, that's what you actually live with. So this approach lets us, and you see how the colors really behave, in a real store with real, sometimes messy lighting.
It's the difference between a color swatch on a screen and the actual experience of the color in your home.
Precisely. The analysis is just focused on that visual reality. It's what you, the homeowner, are going to see every single day.
So we're not just analyzing paint, we're analyzing performance.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay, so let's start with the cornerstone, the anchor of the whole series, BODBYN Off-White.
Yes. This one is very much current. It's also the color that's been around the longest. It's the benchmark.
The classic.
It gives you that perfect, timeless framed kitchen look. It's designed to be the safe, traditional choice that just works.
But if it's the safe option, where's the complexity? I mean, where's the deep dive in that?
But that's the fascinating part. And this is where the observational data is so important. The sources just kept pointing this out over and over again. The character of this off-white, it changes.
Changes how?
It changes dramatically depending on the light and on the colors you put next to it.
So it's not really a static color at all?
Not at all. It's a chameleon.
Mm-hmm.
This is that phenomenon, metamerism, in action. The color you perceive actually shifts with the light source. Put it next to a warm beige wall or under yellowish light, and the cabinets will look creamy, almost soft.
Okay.
But then you put those same cabinets under a cool, bright LED light, or next to a gray tile backsplash.
And what happens?
And suddenly they can look much cooler. You might even see a hint of blue or green. It's incredibly responsive.
Wow. But isn't that a huge risk for someone designing their kitchen? It sounds like you need to be a lighting designer just to pick your cabinets.
It does raise the stakes a little bit, but it's also why the color has such longevity. It can adapt.
Adapt to what?
To new wall paint, new appliances. It can coordinate with things over decades precisely because it shifts. You just have to treat it less like a block of color, more like, a reflective surface.
So context is everything.
The context defines the color.
All right, so from the adaptable classic, we pivot hard. Let's talk about the newcomer.
Yes, the newest, and I'd say most impactful, addition to the current lineup, BODBYN Black.
Which is also current.
Very current.
Yeah.
And this signals a really dramatic shift in strategy.
How so?
Well, putting BODBYN Black next to the Off-White or even the Gray, the contrast is just huge. It's not subtle. It's a statement that this classic frame style isn't just for country kitchens anymore. This is for something bolder, more industrial, maybe.
And how does light play with this one? Because with the Off-White, it was about the color of the light, but with black.
That's a great question. With the black, it's more about the intensity and the direction of the light. The sources really emphasize this. You'd think black is just black, but lighting still has a major impact on how you perceive it.
I'm trying to picture that. Does it just absorb all the light?
A dark matte finish like this does absorb a lot of light, which makes it feel incredibly deep.
But
that absorption can hide the very thing that makes BODBYN what it is, that detailed framed profile. It can just disappear into shadow.
So you need to light it very intentionally.
You have to. You have to design your lighting plan specifically to reveal the texture of the cabinet. It's demanding in a way the Off-White isn't.
That's such a critical piece of information for anyone thinking about this. You're not just choosing a color.
You're committing to an entire lighting aesthetic.
And the showroom observations back this up. The sources say the black is almost always paired with what?
lighter countertops,
Mm-hmm.
things like marble or a light wood, something to create that maximum contrast and ground the space.
And the handles.
Two extremes, really. You either see something really reflective, like brass or gold, to add a bit of sparkle against all that darkness.
A very current look.
Very. Or the complete opposite, matching dark handles for a super sleek, almost monolithic look. Both are pure drama.
Okay, so we have the adaptable heritage of Off-White and the high contrast drama of Black. Where does that leave the person who maybe doesn't want either of those extremes?
That brings us right to the middle ground, the workhorse of the current range, BODBYN Grey.
Which is, thankfully, also current.
Yes. And strategically, this one is fascinating because it's the perfect mid-tone. It sits right in the middle.
Between the lightness of the Off-White and the depth of the Black.
Exactly. It's the visual compromise. And it's compromise a lot of people are looking for right now.
And what does that look like in reality?
The observations show it offers much, much less contrast than the Black. The shadows on the frame are softer. The whole effect is just
Hella neutral.
much more neutral. And that neutrality is really its biggest strength.
How do you mean?
I mean, in a world where people want to experiment with bold backsplashes or, crazy floor tiles.
The gray cabinet is the quiet, stable background.
Precisely. It takes a back seat. It allows all the other, maybe trendier features to do the talking. Psychologically, choosing a stable gray like this is a choice for long-term flexibility.
Because you can change out the accessories every few years.
You can repaint the walls, change the light fixtures,
Mhm.
all without having to rip out the core of your kitchen. It's a design built for endurance.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit and dig into the archives. Product lines evolve, things get left behind.
They do.
Let's talk about a color that didn't make it. BODBYN Dark Green.
Yes, and to be very clear, its status is discontinued.
So you can't get it anymore.
Correct. It has been removed from the range entirely. This color really represents a specific moment in time, maybe a few years back.
When those deep, jewel-toned kitchens were everywhere.
Exactly. It was a major trend, and the fact that it's gone is significant. It shows the line is being actively managed. They're curating it.
So why retire it? Trend fatigue.
That could be part of it. Maybe the market decided that such an intense color was too much of a commitment for something as permanent as a kitchen. Or maybe it was a strategic move to bring the BODBYN line back to its core identity. Timeless neutrals that last. Adaptability over fashion.
And for anyone who might have these or is trying to match something, the sources make a really important point here.
A critical distinction, yes. The observers noted that this specific discontinued dark green is visually different from any of the newer green fronts that IKEA might be offering now.
So if you see a new green kitchen from IKEA, it's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing. It'll have a different undertone, a different sheen. It's just not a match. This particular dark green had its own unique visual signature. It's a closed chapter in the BODBYN story.
So if we pull all of this together, what's the big lesson from this color story?
I think the BODBYN Chronicle really proves a fundamental truth about design. The character of a color, or any material really, it's not fixed, it's not inherent, it's a dynamic variable. It's shaped entirely by light, by its finish, by what you put next to it.
The way the off-white shifts, or the way the black demands a certain kind of light.
Those aren't bugs, they're features.
Yeah.
They define how the product actually performs in your home.
Right. And I think the key takeaway for me from all this observational data is that you have to look at these choices through the lens of your own environment.
Absolutely.
We're not choosing a color for a website or a catalog. We're choosing a finish for a room that has windows and lamps and life happening in it.
So it makes you think, where is all this headed?
What do you mean?
Look at the current range. Off-white, gray, black. Adaptable, stable, and dramatic. And think about what's missing. The specific trendy color, the dark green.
So this spectrum of choice, from classic and light to deep and high contrast, what does that suggest about what people want right now? Are we just looking for flexibility above everything else?
And what does the popularity of that mid-tone gray tell us? Does it mean we're collectively searching for a kind of visual peace? A stable anchor in our homes that lets us change everything else around it?
Something to think about next time you see what looks like a simple color palette. Thanks for joining us for the deep dive.